Morgan Wallen just dropped what will probably be the biggest project in the country music genre this year, and I'm saying that in terms of commercial success. It'll probably be on the Billboard charts for years to come, just like Dangerous was, but I'm also referring to it as massive because it has so many songs on it. Clocking in at 36 songs spread out over nearly 2 hours, I can't imagine another artist releasing such a massive album. Luke Combs and Morgan Wallen are probably the only artists in the country music space that can justify the risk of doing that. Any other artist risks losing their entire audience due to the amount of opportunity costs lost after spending 2 hours listening to music. Enough by the preface of the album though, let's just talk about it. Before we start though, you're watching Playing for Cats. This channel is dedicated to helping animals in need get the help they need. If you love charitable causes, hit like, hit subscribe, then check out some links in my channel to donate directly to those causes. So right out of the gate, the singles, like usual, are the best songs on the album. With 36 songs in a genre that usually gets artists' careers ruined if they step out of line too far, you can only spread that genre so far. You can categorize all 36 songs into like 4 different emotions. There's the sad songs, there's the hip-hop inspired trap sounding songs, there's the songs that want to sound like nostalgic country, then there's the songs that reference religion in some way. All of the singles fill the spot as best representatives of those 4 categories. That's not just my opinion either. The entire inspiration of the album comes from 3 genres: country, alternative, and hip-hop. For sad songs, Last Night or Thought You Should Know fill that niche. For the trap sounding songs, You Proof will probably be on everyone's playlist. For the nostalgic country song, Everything I Love is by far the best song for that one, and probably my favorite on the album still. And for the songs that reference religion in some way, I Wrote the Book is probably the most clever, although I would argue that Don't Think Jesus or Man Made a Bar do a really good job as alternates. With that out of the way, 36 songs is way too long. With only 3 genres to choose from and only a few sounds you can pick from those genres, so many songs come across as filler. If you have 15 sad songs out of 36, are people really going to listen past the 3 most popular sad songs on the album? Now there are a few theories why artists have been doing this. The biggest reason is that people leave the album on shuffle or just play from the top without caring what songs are actually on. This obviously means more plays for the artist and more revenue for the label. But what does it mean for country music as a whole? Well, I think you really get what you pay for. Country music is known for its consistency. You get the typical tropes of love, alcohol, breakups, home, and Jesus. This album is no different than anything else that you would hear on the radio. There are some songs on the album that try to implement unique sounds, but they aren't singles, they aren't big, and they aren't too far from the norm. Last Drive Down Main has a really cool drum groove that sounds like something out of a pop-punk album, but that's really all there is about the song. Pretty forgettable when it's the 28th song on the album. There's no denying though, that this is what the general audience wants. There's a reason why formulas exist. Change is hard, risky, and complicated. Why fix what obviously isn't broken to most people? Basically, there are 2 trains of thought on how to develop a genre past its comfort zone. Either a small artist hits a niche and that takes off, or a big artist with a loyal fan base tries something new and that succeeds. This is not the case for this instance. If you liked Morgan Wallen's sound before, you'll like it after this album, alright? It's safe, typical, and not too far from what he's used to. If you don't like this style of music, especially if you're a die-hard traditional country fan, then the radio is going to be really annoying for the next year. 36 songs is way too many to try and rank, so I'll mention some standouts. I thought Born with a Beer in My Hand was going to be pretty cringe, but it was actually introspective and a little morbid, pretty cool. Last Night is pretty good. Everything I Love is awesome, it's a great song. Man Made a Bar, pretty good. One Thing at a Time is really cool, really unique sound. He should go for that more, lean that way. In the Bible is my least favorite by far. Thought You Should Know had an awesome melody, really great song, cool chorus. Money on Me has some great writing, pretty clever. Single Than She Was is a messed up topic, but a fun sounding song. Last Drive Down Main is one of my favorites for the reasons mentioned before. Don't Think Jesus is really good. Lifestyle has awesome production, pretty cool sound, the way it references that old Lifestyle song from the 2010s, but it's one of my least favorites. And Dying Man is really good, great writing. Like I said, with 36 songs, you're bound to have a ton of forgettable stuff. So far, the critics are pretty mixed, but I'm going to assume that fans are going to love this. This album is going to have a ton of plays, a ton of radio space, and a ton of press. This will probably put him ahead of Luke Combs in terms of popularity and as the face of country music. What are your thoughts though? Do you agree with me on some of my takes, or do you agree with the critics? Let me know in the comments, and take care.